And we opposed Juneteenth becoming a federal holiday as it happened. And yes, it is the day that it is mandatory to work at Turning Point USA. On its face value, I have no problem with it. I think it's wonderful to say, okay, liberation of slaves, all that good stuff. The issue is that the entire point of it, as per postmodernists do and deconstructionists, is to subvert July 4th. That has always been the agenda. That there is a Black Independence Day and a National Independence Day, the same way that they have a black national anthem that plays before NFL games. That they have black-only dormitories and black-only math classes. It is a neo-segregationist federal holiday. But now we have a full week of Juneteenth festivities. At some point, you got to wonder, and the answer to the question is actually very simple. Why do these people need so much celebration?
Why do these people need so much celebration? Now, if you are Black or you are conscious in any way, if you are a non-African American person and you have any consciousness about you, you would know never to say these people. But that's what this fool did. So here I am in this kind of mood right here. This dude right here is an absolute abomination. He doesn't understand history. He doesn't get how this country was formed. He wants to talk about they. Let's talk about the days of this country. And he's getting paid to say this kind of stuff. And you know what? Advertisers, ad buyers are not fleeing from this dude like they would if it was another group of people. But no, it's African American, so he can talk about us like a dog and continue to get paid. It is something wrong with him. You know what? He needs to read Frederick Douglass's To the Slave, What Is the 4th of July? Because as I recall through my reading of history, that when this country was formed, my ancestors were still enslaved. Hello, somebody? But you know what? In his world, in DeSantis's world, it's not okay to tell the truth about the formation of this nation. He is a clown, he is an abomination. I said it, and he is. He doesn't have a problem. Like, who in the world cares about what Charlie Kirk likes or does not like? He is a hate mongerer is what he is. And to all the advertisers who support this man, something is wrong with you. You are supporting hate. Hate specifically against African American people. That's what you're doing. Now then, he had the audacity to double down on this folly and foolishness and half-truths, not half-truths, whole truths and misrepresentation of history. Let's just go ahead up, as much as it pains me to put this tweet up. Go ahead and put Jordan up, because if we don't put Jordan up, he ain't gonna get a word in edgewise, because I am on fire today over this, and I want everybody to know it. If Juneteenth was really about emancipation, why not September 22nd, 1862, when Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation? You know what, clown? Because there were enslaved people in border states like Maryland and West Virginia and Delaware who were not, who the Emancipation Proclamation did not set free, because President Lincoln had to make a political calculus and not piss off the border states so that he would have a strategic military advantage. But you wouldn't know anything about that. Also, there's one thing to have a document to push a policy such as the Emancipation Proclamation. It's another thing to make sure that it is actually enacted and followed through upon, genius. He goes on January the 1st, 1863, when the proclamation took effect. On December 18th, 1865, with the ratification of the 13th Amendment. Because it's not about emancipation, which was one of America's great moral achievements. Are you kidding me, dude? Are you kidding me? It wasn't, it was not. Because even after all of that, the federal government had to come down into the South for Reconstruction up to 1877, and they could have stayed there a little longer, but for a political deal that they made with Southerners to get a certain president nominated and elected, and they left formerly enslaved people high and dry, is what they did. Go ahead, put Jordan up. Jordan, go ahead, because I'm gonna go off.
Well, I mean, that's tough to follow. You laid it out. But what I want people to think about is how, when Charlie Kirk is talking about Juneteenth, how he structured his comments. He acknowledges at the beginning, I have no problem with it on its face. And then moves on to all of the issues he has with it, talking about how he makes people at Turning Point work, doesn't acknowledge the federal holiday. I mean, it seems like you do have a problem with it. And then goes on to list all of these other things that would, take away from the significance of Juneteenth, or would give him an out for observing it or recognizing its significance. Talking about things that don't have anything to do with Juneteenth, like playing the Black national anthem at NFL games. That's part of a 10-year deal that the NFL is doing to help combat racism, because they had some really, let's say, problematic stances toward people trying to speak out about racism and systemic injustice in this country. People might remember Colin Kaepernick and the way the NFL just ostracized him entirely from the league because of his political views and what he did, his activism. So trying to distract his viewers and give them that out while saying at the beginning, I have no problem with it on its face, ultimately helps these people placate their racism and cover up what they ultimately feel, which is disdain for a holiday that is significant to all Black Americans and should be significant to everybody in this country. It's really simple. It doesn't compete with July 4th. These are weeks away. If you feel some internal conflict between two holidays that are 2 to 3 weeks apart, that's a you problem. That's not a federal holiday problem. So really work on yourself, Charlie Kirk.
Oh, wait, there you go, Jordan. I'm telling you, the man needs to be exercised. That's really what this comes down to. And I'm not even sure that will work. Holy water and exorcism. Just not sure that it will work for him. This is what he does. This is how he gets paid. This kind of grift pays millions too, by the way. Now my stunt double had to check him. This is what she said. It's literally Juneteenth. It's literally to commemorate enslaved people in Texas being made aware of emancipation. Charlie Kirk. But if you wanted to understand anything about history, which you do not, you would know this, but you don't. And my stunt double wasn't the only one to check Charlie on his BS. The one and only Reverend Bernice King gave him a fact check as well. This right here. Well, this is a horribly divisive attempt to make Juneteenth divisive. In actuality, the day could be unified if truth plus love were embraced as a galvanizing team for true peace, which includes justice. And let me add in there, genius,